everyone. So today I am doing another vinyl book mashup video. You guys seem to really enjoy the first video like this that I did, and I really liked filming it, so I'm gonna do another one. What I do is I pick 3 records from my record collection and I match them with books depending on theme or just what they make me think of. It's fun, and it's actually perfect timing for this because next Saturday, which is April 16th, is record store day. I don't know if I'll actually be shopping for records because I have to work, but you know, I could still do something in honor of the day early. The first album that I'm going to match up with books is Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. Now, this album was notoriously written when there was a lot of emotional relationship drama and craziness going on in the band. There were a lot of breakups and a lot of hookups, and so thus the lyrics sort of reflect that feeling of either being positive or negative about transitioning out of relationships or into relationships. And so I decided to pick books that have a lot of emotional ins and outs and drama in terms of relationships in them. So the first one that I thought of was, of course, Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. There was, of course, Rhett and Scarlett, who are always in love with each other at the wrong timing. Like, one is always ready to be like, I'm done with this, and the other one's like, I love you now, and they're like, ah! And then also, there is quite a bit of a love square in this, and you know, I love a good love square. And if you're feeling up to it, you can check out Alexandra Ripley's Scarlett, which is sort of the official sequel to Gone with the Wind. Now, this is kind of a 3-star to me. It's definitely not, you know, as good as Gone with the Wind, but it might be the only sequel that you're gonna find to Gone with the Wind. So for that reason, it's worth giving it a go. Another book that features a lot of emo relationship drama is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. You know, Catherine and Heathcliff already have a class difference going on, but then there's also a little bit of a love shape and a lot of miscommunication. Next, we have my most recent addition to my vinyl collection, and it is Little Girl Blue by Nina Simone. For this, I have first of all matched it with Laurie Hulse Anderson's The Impossible Ninth of Memory. Now, most of this is because I got this album around the time that I was reading this book, so I read some of this book to this album. I definitely think of these two together for that reason. But in addition, the main character in this does dye her hair blue, and thus her significant other calls her Miss Blue a lot. And also, she does feel blue quite a bit in this book because her father is suffering from some mental problems and PTSD, and she doesn't really know how to deal with that. Otherwise, though, I often associate a lot of the songs on this particular album with books that are about being in love with someone that you can't be with or maybe shouldn't be with because of bad circumstances, or because that person has a dark past, or because, you know, sometimes that person is just married to somebody already. And all of these books tend to also have a classical or vintage feel in their storytelling. I think because Nina Simone was a classically trained musician. One book that I think of when I think of this album is, for some reason, The Great Gatsby. It's kind of a jazzy album. It's set in the jazz age, and it does kind of share those themes. Books that are like maybe The Thornbirds by Colleen McAuliffe. This is definitely a book wrought with a lot of emotional drama because of the setting, as well as emotional drama because of people being in love with the wrong person. Rebecca, which is about a woman who marries a man with a really dark past. And if you really want to go with it, it's sort of similar to Jane Eyre in the gothic romance way. Woman in love with man with dark past. There's always the ever depressing but really excellent Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. And in fact, aforementioned Gone with the Wind and Wuthering Heights probably would fit with this as well. So, you know, lots of options for Little Girl Blue. all the people in those books are pretty darn blue. I would say they're working that Mood Indigo thing, which is the first song on this album. So since some of those albums kind of focused on saddish books, I thought I should pick an album that really focuses on positivity and go with Echosmith's Talking Dreams. This album to me reflects a lot of feelings of youthful joy and finding positivity in dark places, and also just fabulous young love and just love in general. So I decided to pick a few books that fit that vibe, and they are all young adult contemporary books because that just fits for me with this album. So the first one is Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I feel like a lot of songs fit the ideas of these characters and also just the relationship that Eleanor and Park have, so I think it's a perfect match. Another book that I often think of when I think of some Echosmith songs is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Yeah, it might kind of have some sad points, but it is fairly positive even within the sadness, and a lot of songs like Bright and things like that make me think of Augustus and Hazel's. A couple other books that I thought of were Prom by Laurie Halse Anderson. This is a book about a girl that has to save prom, and it takes a lot of teamwork to do it, and there's songs about teamwork on this album, so I thought Prom was a very fitting match as well. Lastly, I thought I should pick a book that's kind of about finding yourself as a youth, and I went with The Astonishing Adventures of Fanboy and Goth Girl, which is by Barry Lyga. I think that's how you say his name. This also has a really awesome sequel called Goth Girl Rising, so if you want to check out Goth Girl Rising, you can check that out as well. Those were my matches for these 3 albums for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you check out some of the records that I showed you, as well as some of the books that I suggested, and I will see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye!